what we have is Greg Cassar's coming up now. Greg is one of our faculty members, but Greg is also one of our friends and also one of our trainers. He teaches us and trains us in a lot of marketing areas to do online, and we hire Greg regularly to do stuff for us that we can't do. And what he's forgotten on this subject, it's probably not worth knowing. But he's a really smart, clever guy. But he's not only is he that, he actually does what he's teaching for himself and other people as well. So he knows his stuff. Put your hands together all the way up till he gets here, Greg Cassar.
Thank you. Thank you, Andrew. So today we're going to do 60 minutes. We're going to look at how you can maximise Facebook as part of your overall marketing strategy. But I was thinking about this yesterday. I got an invite about a week ago, and Andrew and Daryl said, do you want to come down? And we got a good group together and have a chat about Facebook. And then I thought, well, yeah, why do they want me to come here and talk about Facebook? And I knew that Andrew thought that I was a good marketer. So I thought that could be it. And I knew that Daryl thought I was a good-looking rooster. So I thought that could be it too. Which calls a good marketer. We shall see, we shall see. So let's start. Am I a good marketer? I run a marketing agency, and on a month-by-month basis, pretty much, well, not pretty much, we are responsible for over $500,000 in additional revenue from our clients. This is stuff they weren't doing before, but just stuff that we drive, and that's per month, so month in, month out. So there's a few happy customers in there. And in the last week alone, we did a product launch, nearly 2 weeks now. We did a thing called a product launch formula, and we did in between 400 and 500 grand in a week and a bit. So when that first went live, was making $1,000 a minute for an hour, and then $1,000 every 3 minutes for a bit after that, then like $250,000 weekend, and then 400 grand for a week, that sort of thing. So that's a good week. Not all mine, that was for a client actually, unfortunately. Last one of those I do where I don't negotiate a commission in advance, as you can imagine. And then, so that's the good marketer side, and then good looking rooster. This is an older shot. I no longer have that coffee jug thing. It broke, so I don't have that anymore. So, who do you think's right? Good marketer or good looking rooster? The rooster. Maybe the marketer, because a projection of this is where it's probably going to end up. And it isn't pretty, so. Alright. We're short for time, so is it okay if I just tell you the brief version of my story and how I got to where I am and what I'm doing? Okay, thank you. So I was always an entrepreneur from an early age. As you can see, grew up on a farm and with an Angora goats and a real vinyl jacket. Pretty special that was. But because I was always short and had big goats, so I was able to ride on my goats, like on the back and hold their horns. But I found out you don't want to get a reputation as a guy who rides goats, because it all goes pear-shaped from there. So I promise you I'm going to teach you some stuff for those people who are going to think, who is this weirdo, and looking at the time. So yeah, I was an entrepreneur at an early age, used to sell, calves and goats and all that sort of stuff. And then in my biggest entrepreneurial moment as I was growing up was in year 11 in high school. The school decided that they were no longer going to sell junk food in the canteen. And so everyone was up, they were going crazy about this is insane. I just thought, wow, what an opportunity. So I got on the blower. My auntie was a wholesale confectionery supplier, so within sort of 24 to 48 hours, I'd I'd borrowed 11 lockers at the year 11 lockers. I paid my brothers and sisters to carry in, like we had boxes of Coke and chips and chocolate, all that sort of stuff. Pretty much, we were set up on day 3. And the lineup was like from here to the back corner. It was just crazy. And I was making $50 profit a day. It doesn't sound like much as an adult, but when you're 16 or whatever, it was great. So yeah, I was the rich man on campus. Then I got called in. It went on for about 2 weeks. The school didn't say anything to me. I thought, this is brilliant. Then I get a note in class to go see the vice principal, and I'm thinking, this isn't going to go good. But like any sort of confrontation, if you can plan in advance, it always helps. So as soon as I got in there, I just shook his hand, and his name was Mr. Top, and I patted him on the back, and I just thanked you. I said, thanks, Mr. Top, for what you guys have taught me in the economics class, and how I was able to take that supply and demand thing and implement it for every whole school to see, and make a few dollars on the side. And then I just quickly left, and thank you very much. You know, you're doing a great job. Keep it up, sort of thing. And I was out of there. And so I think he just thought, what the heck just happened there? Anyway, it was not even a day or two later, I get another note, and he's like, before you say a word, Mr. Casa, and then he's like, yeah, this is not on. And yeah, so they shut me down. How they shut me down actually was they put the junk food back, so it was a bit of a Robin Hood type story. And then because I had all this cash in my pocket, I set up a gambling ring at school, and we got in trouble because one of the guys actually smoked a cigar in a classroom, and yeah, that smoke gave it away. And that time it didn't go so well when I went to saw the vice principal. I couldn't talk my way out of that. So I went away computing at university, and I'm a bit of a geek, but I'm a geek and a marketer. And these days I'm a marketer first and a geek second. I used to design, in corporate IT, I used to design computer networks for banks and insurance companies and that sort of thing. I was an architect, so high-paying job, but not really what I wanted to do. Started selling stuff on the internet, and then other people started saying, oh, could you do that for me, and that sort of thing. So then I decided to quit the day job and run a marketing agency, and that's what I do now. I still sell my own info products, and I run a marketing agency. So that's sort of how we get to where we are now. But let's roll up our sleeves and get stuck into it. So what do you need Facebook in your marketing strategy? And the answer is because that's where the people are. So roughly 500 to 600 million of them. One of the biggest learnings I've had in recent sort of months or year was I've always been focused on how do I get traffic to come to me, but if you flip the model on its head and you figure out where are the people and how do you put your content there, that just definitely makes life a little bit easier. So let's look at some quick facts about Facebook. So Facebook now is like where Google was back in 2005 and 2007. So if you're a switched on entrepreneur, there really is some great opportunities that are available now that may not be available, or they'll be more expensive in months to come or years to come. There's only roughly 1/5 of the advertisers of Google. So and if you think about supply and demand, that means that you can get cheaper clicks, that sort of thing. And I'll show you how that works in a moment. And it has more traffic than Google now, which is amazing, and they spend more time, you know, on Facebook. So 50% of people log into Facebook every day, so it's even more popular than porn online. I didn't see that coming. Didn't know that was ever going to happen. And if it was a country, it would be the 3rd biggest country in the world. Like if you look at it, if you can see that diagram, it's bigger than the US. So the amount of people on Facebook is roughly 25 times the size of the whole Australian population. So that gives you some indication of how big the thing is. I'm a direct response guy, so what that means is I know my maths, and I'm happy to spend X to make Y and then get it profitable, and then so I cut my losers short. If something's not working, I'll figure that out very quickly, and if it is working, I'll run my winners long. So if something's making a margin, then I'll roll it out on a big scale. So a lot of people with social media are really focused on the putting the content out and chatting with all the people and all that sort of stuff. And I think that is a very, very valid strategy. But for me, I don't really have the time to do it. So that's why I focus a lot on the ads side and have got very good at that. I'm happy to spend X to make Y. So if you can see this up the top, there's an example of a Facebook ad. So these are the ads that turn up on the right-hand side of Facebook. Is there anyone here who's not on Facebook at all? There's a fair few. Okay, so this may not make as much sense. Okay, I'm actually surprised that it's so much. That was maybe nearly a quarter of the group. So when you're on Facebook, there's these ads that run down the right-hand side, and they've got like a headline, and they've got a picture, and then there's some body copy. And if someone clicks on it, you can either send them off to a website that's not on Facebook, or you can send them to a page that is on Facebook. But what is really, really cool about this is never before in the history of the internet have you been able to laser target in on your exact target market the way you can now. So I'll just go over here so I can read this, and I don't know whether you can see it on the screen, but in this ad I'm targeting people who live in the US by the city of Boston. So I'm only targeting people who live within Boston or 50 kilometres around it. I'm targeting people who are between 25 and 60, who are either male or female, and are interested in business management, entrepreneurship, that sort of thing. So you can see how if you know what your avatar is, or you know who your ideal client is, you can just show ads to your ideal client. That's how smart this thing is. So, and Facebook is really, really smart. It's like an artificial intelligence engine. As you click like on things on Facebook and that sort of stuff, it updates your profile in the background. So the reason why they're doing that is so that they can show the right ads to the right people. So it's very, very cool. But the difference is it's not as good in Google in the other way, in that it's more like a coffee shop. Google's more like the yellow pages and Facebook is more like a coffee shop. So why I say Google is like the yellow pages is because people are going there to search, to solve a problem, whereas Facebook, they're going there just to hang out. It's a disruption media. So if they see your ad and it's of interest to them and they click on it, then they're not as likely to buy as if they were actively searching for that. So it's a different media. And that's why it's good to have free offers rather than try to sell from Facebook. And we'll talk a bit more about that in a moment. I was going to spend 5 minutes now and I'll show you how to create your first Facebook ad. So that'll make it, then you've got something tangible you can go away with as of Monday or whatever, or even tonight you can create your first Facebook ad. So I apologise to these people that I need to have my back to you while I do this. All right. Okay, so I'm logged into Facebook. And if you scroll right to the bottom, you'll see a link that says advertising, and you click that link. It's a bit of a slow internet connection. Okay, so I don't have any ads live at the moment, but if I scroll over here and we go create an ad. Okay, so it wants to know where do we want to send the traffic. That's what it's saying with destination. So I'm going to choose an external URL. So I'm going to send traffic to a website that's not on Facebook. And I'll just quickly I publish a digital marketing magazine called Internet Marketing Magazine. So I'll send people there. So I'm not trying to sell directly from Facebook. I'm sending them to a free offer. And then once they've opted in for my free offer, then I'll do an upsell afterwards, or I'll market to them again effectively. That's how you would use this. So I'm just grabbing my URL. And then I'll put that in here. And then we're up to a title, so it just wants a headline. If you know who your exact market is and you're targeting just them, then sometimes it's good to address them. So like in that case, that example we had before, I said Boston business owner, question mark, like are you a Boston business owner? Because if they're a business owner in Boston in that example, they'd think, oh, that's me, and then have a look at what that's about. So if you can get them to answer oh, that's me, then that's a good way to go. So here I might say, love internet marketing and question mark, and it doesn't have to, you can be whatever you want. With Google Ads, you can have uppercase letters all the time and lowercase. With Facebook, it's pretty much got to be mainly just lowercase words. So you just do you test different ads, and I'll show you what works in a moment. But So I'll just say here, I'll grab your free membership to Internet Marketing Magazine. Valued at $311, and then I'd just keep it conversational. So, like, I'll just say it's a great read or something like that, or check it out. Okay, and then you choose an image. So if you can use an attractive female in the image, then that does help with draw eyeballs. If you think about it, it's sort of funny, but if you think about the magazine industry and that they all do it as well, so yeah, it just draws eyeballs better. So let's go to the desktop. I've got an image. So in this image, it's actually a picture of a woman at a computer, and so I can't just use a picture of an attractive female. I've got to sort of tie it in somehow. So the computer, she happens to be in a bikini as well, and that oh, it's not a bikini; it's a summer type outfit. But yeah, that did help with the eyeballs as well. And in this case, I've put a red border around it. It's just another thing, and I've put words on there as well, so they'll look at it and try and read. Okay, so then I need to think about, okay, who's my target market? Who do I want to show it to? So in this case, I want to show it to people in Australia, but maybe I want to show it to only people, you know, who are in Sydney. And I can choose that town, and I can say whether it's, you know, within 50 miles, 25 miles, whatever. But if yours isn't just local, you could add multiple countries. So if you know who your target market is, you could add more and more countries. So you might be able to add all the different English-speaking countries. One thing is, though, if you do add a whole bunch of countries in one go, and the number of people that it shows to gets bigger and bigger and bigger, you'll end up paying more. So you're better off to have smaller. The smaller and tighter the groups are, the less you'll pay, without a doubt. So then you'd choose an age. So say, for example, I want them to be, you know, 18 or whatever, so that they've got a credit card, because as a general rule, I like people to give me money, and especially online. And so choose an age, choose whether it's male or female, that sort of thing, and then see down here with interests. This is like a Google keyword tool, but you've got to think about what would they be interested in. So here I might say, you know, internet marketing, and it suggests a whole bunch of other. It suggests a whole bunch of other type keywords. So like web marketing might be another one. And what you can't see is over on the right hand side, it's gone. I can't really see it because of the it's squashing up the screen. There's over on the right hand side, it shows you how many people you're actually targeting. So it'll show you that ad is going to show to 20,000 people or 15,000 people, that sort of thing. And I try to keep the groups less than 20,000 people that you're showing your ad to, as a general rule. If you show it to more than that, then you're just paying unnecessarily, and you're better off to group it down tighter. Okay, and then that's pretty much the main thing. So you can target men who are interested in women, men who are interested in men, any of that sort of thing that you want, depending on what your niche is. You can target whether they've gone to college or haven't, you know, where they work, that sort of thing. And then you just create a new campaign and call the campaign whatever you want. So I might call this mag test. In this case, choose a budget. So how much do you want to spend? And down here, this is the last important thing that you need to see. So there's two different models. You can pay per click. So that means every time your ad shows and someone clicks on it, you pay a certain amount, whether it's, you know, 5 cents through to $2 or whatever. Or the other one is pay for impressions, which is CPM, which means that every time your ad shows 1,000 times, you're going to pay a certain amount, 60 cents or whatever. As a general rule, I always start with the pay per click. And then when I get a winning campaign, I'll switch it over to the pay per impression. But you need a really good click-through rate, which means that you need a lot of people clicking on your ad before you'd worry changing it over to that other model. So if you're just getting started, I'd say just stick with cost per click. And here, I don't know how well you can see it, but it says suggested bid. So Facebook's suggesting to me pay anywhere between $1.04 and $1.52 for this traffic per click. So I would take their $1.04 that they're recommending to me, and I'd add a couple of cents on it. So start at the bottom range, and you can always go up. And don't do like $1.05 or $1.10 or whatever, because that's what most people would choose, and you want to be slightly different to everyone else. So they're suggesting $1.04, so I'll go $1.08. And then it's just a matter of review ad. You'll see what the ad that we've created looks like. I think it's still thinking. Yeah, so you can see our ad now. We love internet marketing and grab your free. And off you go. And then from there, you would just approve it. Oh, you would, sorry, down, if we scroll down, you'd go place order. From there, what will happen is that'll go off to Facebook, and it'll manually get reviewed by someone in Facebook. So it generally takes in between an hour and half a day for something to review your ad. If you're in the make money type areas, they don't really like that. So it may not be a traffic source that works for you if you're in pure make money type areas. So you just got to be a little bit careful to not make it too make money hypey. All right. I hope that makes sense. You've now got something you can action as far as how to implement a Facebook ad. I won't send that one live because I don't really need it. So, all right, back to